Alright guys, welcome back to another commentary video. Today I am flying out the American P-51 D30. Isn't that a sexy cockpit? God, I hate this plane. I love it too at the same time. I mean don't get me wrong. It is a really, really good plane. If flown right, and that's the way with a lot of these planes in War Thunder are. If they're flown right, they're very, very good. Problem is, this plane is generally not flown right by the American tree. God, can you imagine if they had a premium version of this in like the Japanese, and not Japanese line, but even the Japanese line, but even like in the German lineup? God, that would be beautiful. And it really just comes down to the teams. Most of the times you're going to find, you know, the German team's going to climb a lot, Japanese somewhat, but they're, you know, a lot of turn fighters in that tree. But the American lineup has some really good planes. They really, really do. The P-51 is one of them. I've taken out the D30 today. It's got a little bit better stats on the stat card. I think the overall top speed is higher than the D5. Climb rate's a little bit better than the D5. I know there's a couple premium versions of the Mustang as well, but most players, when you ask them, you know, World War II fighter, I mean, P-51 Mustang is one of the first things that usually comes to mind. My overall favorite, of course, is the Corsair. It may just be because, you know, growing up, I remember watching Black Sheep Squadron, you know, with my dad on TV. Great show. I mean, I go back and watch episodes of it now, and it's, you know, it's funny. It's not as exciting and intense as I remember as a kid, of course, but P-47, hands down, one of my other top favorite planes. Definitely a workhorse in the war. But the Mustang is one of those planes that, if you're fighting around this tier in any team, you're going to see, you know, 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 of people playing this plane. And I'm in no way good at it, but I do understand that I need to have altitude, I need to have speed in this plane. So what I've done, after climbing altitude, I'm trying to actually cool my engine down right now, is I've picked out Shibby here, I guess that's how you say your name, sorry if I got it wrong, in this P-47M, and I'm going to make him my squad mate. I'm not flying out with Jim today, so I'm going to follow him around, and he is either going to get me set up for a kill, or I'm going to set him up for a kill. And it's always better to fight in pairs, so trying to follow him around. He's currently starting to engage a 185 that's up at altitude with us, and we're not that high right now, you know, but high enough for the Russian team to not be as effective. Nice kill. He just picked up that 185. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to follow him around, and you know, I picked out him because he is up at altitude. He is playing his plane what seems to be, you know, in my opinion, correctly, and we are the two up at altitude. A lot of our teams already been killed because they were down mowing the lawn, which is, they should not be doing in their American planes. And so we're up here hunting. That is what we are doing. We are hunting right now, and I am just going to follow him around. I'm just like a little lost puppy following this P-47 around, because I know that if we stay together, our odds of winning, you know, or getting a kill are a lot better, you know. So that's what I'm doing. We got Big Red off in the distance. He's making some engagements over there, so we're kind of heading his direction, following the P-47 over. And we're just looking for some guys. And I know there's a couple unaccounted for at this point. They have no points. It's a little concerning, but you know, we're up at decent altitude, you know, between 5 and 6K meters, which is, you know, where this plane shines even higher. So that's what we're doing. We are currently hunting and looking for moments of opportunity to make a kill. And you don't have to be the first plane to rush in to do that. You know, sometimes a lot of my kills come off the last couple guys in the match. You know, you don't have to be the first one out there making the first kill, because if you can have, you know, a numbers advantage towards the end, the opportunities for you to get a kill are much, much, much higher. especially if if you've got more teammates than the enemy does, because somebody is either going to set you up for an opportunity to make a kill, or you're going to have the opportunity to set somebody else up for a kill. You're going to notice there the little the little rocket pylons on the bottom of my wings there. I had those on. I had to fire them off at the start of the match. I was using this as an alternative to tank RB the other day, and shooting some rockets off. So I'm following the P-47 down. We have an LA-7 and a Yak-9 down here. 2 tortoises, whatever your name is. I can't pronounce it. I usually just make names up for people. Anyways, he's engaging these 2 down here. We're coming in. I'm hauling ass right now. I know Shibby is as well, because he just had to pull up, and we are now making a dive. And this Mustang has set us up for a beautiful approach. Watch this. These guys are so fixated. Oh, boom. P-47 just nails him. Can't quite get guns on the LA-7. It's fine. I'm coming in right behind. Shooting, get guns. Little bad aim. Crit. Fire. Pilot snipe. Done. Cleared the 6. That's what I was talking about earlier. You get set up for these moments where that was an easy kill. It really, really was an easy kill. So I'm messaging. Say, look, nice job. Nice bait. Appreciate that. That was an easy setup for both me and the P-47. Could not have asked for an easier kill. So turning back around, we got a PE-2 down low, Yak-3. Yak-3, of course, is the threat. Sorry, PE-2 is not. The Yak-3 is the threat. Anytime you got a fighter up over a ground strike plane, the fighter is the bigger threat. So he is the one that needs to go down. Same thing. Highest guy, altitude-wise, is always the #1 threat. So P-47 backs off him. He's now coming to engage the Yak-3. So am I, initiating a dive down because P-47 is engaged with him. And I'm hoping P-47 is going to give me an opportunity to make a shot. If he continues on, carries his speed, doesn't do something stupid like, oh god, turn fighting with him. Okay, here we go. Yak-3 comes up. I'm not going to be able to make that turn, so what I'm doing is I'm turning to anticipate where he's heading. Lift the nose up. Wham. 50 cal. Right into him. Got the fire. Just got lucky there with trying to anticipate where he was heading. Hoping he's burning up. There goes the cooling system. Come on, you Russian plane. There we go. Got the kill. Wasn't a hard shot. All I had to do was just anticipate, where the Yak was coming back through. Try to get my guns in that area. And luckily enough, I was able to lift my nose just enough to put one of those 50 cals home and get the fire. And these things are deadly. I mean, that is just probably one shell is probably all that really hit him and lit him on fire. And that's all it took. And that's what's so great about these. You don't need tons of cannons. Don't kill planes. You get in the Mustang or the P-47, and you are a wrecking force with the 50 cals, especially when you get in and hit them, light them on fire. It's just amazing how much damage you can do. So I'm backing off this IL-10. P-47 picks him up. I didn't want to dive down there. I thought about it. I was like, no, I don't want to dive down there. I've got a couple friendlies down there currently engaging him, so there's no point in getting in their way. So I'm just going to maintain a little bit of altitude, not much, a couple thousand meters. Noticing a base got destroyed. So I'm looking on the map. It's off to my right. So that is currently where I'm heading. At the moment, I don't notice the dot of the enemy plane, but if you look back in the video, you can actually see his little dot out straight ahead, just above my green reticle here. But I'm heading in this direction. I know he's the last guy alive. He's the one earlier. Oh, well, look at that. 51,000 lions for completing that order. That was nice. Need those, especially with the new planes and tanks coming out. Maybe buy some crew slots. Alright, so I'm heading in this direction. Just basically trying to find, the last player. Nothing too special. I know he's probably somewhat of a bomber. I'm surprised he got through all of us until now. Just amazes me. And I'm looking. I don't quite remember where that base was. I know it was in this area. If I'd have been paying more attention to my mini-map, I would have known that, hey, it was right there off to my right wingtip. Flying over here. Currently, I'm the only one heading in this direction. We could use a blind hunt, and one of our teammates does, which didn't need to at the point, but he did. So just as I confirmed, the last guy is in a bomber and heading this direction. For some reason, our other teammates didn't put two and two together that our bases were in this direction and come this way. It's something I try to do when I'm flying out. I try to remember where the bases are on the map, so that way if you're late into a fight and something gets hit and destroyed, you're like, oh yeah, I remember it was up in this quadrant over here or whatever, and so you can kind of head that direction. AI planes that are flying, overhead, trying to remember where they're at. So I'm coming in to year 2. Just want to get a lot of speed here, and I want to actually attack him from underneath because I don't want to go head on at all. It's pointless. This is the last guy of the match. We're up, and it's a bomber. So don't go head on. Don't get on these 6. Coming up from underneath, put a couple shots in. Give me that fireball. There we go. Got that left engine on fire. I'm just going to roll out, get away from these guns. And he's hurt. Look back. Oh my god. He put the fire out. Oh, Russia. You know what though? He's going down. He is on a beeline to the ground. There's no way he's coming out of this. That must have done enough damage. Yep. There we go. I must have got some of his control surfaces as well. So there we go, guys. The P-51 D30. It's a hell of a plane. I would just, if you're flying out in the American line, try to find a partner to fly with. Fly the plane like it's supposed to be. Stay up high, use the altitude advantage that you have. And just like I did with this P-47, I found a little buddy to fly with in the sky. So, guys, I appreciate your time watching this video. If you liked it, give a thumbs up, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.